So in today's video, we're going to go over every single map in the game and show you the secrets of every map. Now by secrets, I mean it could be like some nade spots, some head glitches, some secret spots you didn't know about, some out of bounds spots. There's a lot of things going on a lot of these maps, and some of the maps there's not much going on. We have a few maps that I do really like in this game, a few maps that are really bad. We're going to cover all of them, some of them more than others that have more spots, but we're going to go over all of them apart from Nuketown. If you want to see my Nuketown secrets video, which has done really well and it's made me want to do another one like this, please go back and watch that. I'll leave a link in the description to it, or just go back on my channel a couple of videos. But I want you to leave a like if you learned something in this video, because if you don't, you need to go outside, touch more grass, because you play the game way too much. Now let's get into these. Now we're going to do these in alphabetical order, so starting off with Babylon. Now this map is really small, so there's not a lot to go off, but I've actually found a few spots that you probably don't know. The first one being the most obvious that most people will probably know, but you can actually get up on there. All you have to do is jump up on this little square bit and then just run, and you can just mantle up onto here. It's as simple as that. There's nothing crazy about this one. You can also go onto these corners and make it a little bit easier if you want. Honestly, it is not the best spot in the world. You can get shot from there. Even if you go prone, you can still kind of get shot. It isn't that good unless you want to like surprise one person, but it can be alright for that. Even in inflected, you can get hit by a tomahawk really easily, so not the best. The next one is pretty obvious, is when you're here you can actually climb on these and just walk through them. You can do that there, and you can do this here as well. It's just another exit strategy, but once again you're crouched, so it doesn't really help too much. So them two were quite obvious, but these ones are a bit less obvious, and I've kind of worked them out recently. So up on this little kind of high up area here, a lot of people play this, and I found a couple of things out. First of all, you can actually play this whole like barrier bit that's higher. You can also hop over the barrier, so you can actually play. I know it's probably not that useful, to be honest, all this bit, but I didn't even know that you could play here until I actually go on here. As soon as you walk off here, you're out of bounds and you got to return, but I didn't know you could play any of this, so knowing that you can play like a bit of this might change up a game at some point. I'm not sure. Now, into the most juicy one we have on this map. Now, there's a lot of places on maps there you can play out of bounds, basically. And I made a Nuketown video on a few out of bounds areas, and honestly, it done really well. So that's kind of why I've decided to do this one. Now, there's a few hit bits here that you can see that you can't really play too well. But what you can do is you can run up here, and you can actually run around and get through here. Now, I'm not sure how useful there to there is really going to be, but maybe if you're running from someone, it could be useful. Now, I did think maybe you could do the same thing here. You can just run into this one. But once again, not that useful, right? But look at this. If you're up here and you're getting shot from, say, like down here quite a lot, you can actually, I'm not sure, you have to be quite quick about it, but if you run and jump quite far, you can actually make it right over to here. And honestly, that rotation is pretty incredible. Now you can also, if you can do it one way, you can do it back, right? So if you run really quick and you hop up on there, you literally have like 0.2 of a second to do that last little bit, but you can do it backwards. And honestly, imagine flanking someone from there and getting a kill. I'll try and get some clips, and if they can get one, I will put it in here, because I think that one is really useful. Now, some of these maps don't have much to go off, but I'm going to try and get at least one for every single map. So the one on this one is something that, if you don't know, then you probably should have already known, but I will show you anyway. So it involves this wall just down here. There's not a lot to go off on here. I will show you a couple things you can do, but this is literally the only thing that I can really think of on this map that's going to be helpful. So this is the only place that doesn't have this barbed wire around, and you can actually hop over it really easily just from here, and you can do the same thing from this side, but you can literally do it from the floor. You don't have to be on anything. It is made to mantle, which is sometimes good. If someone's like holding this, it's quite good to mantle over there, but honestly it does put you in a lot of danger as well. So it's not the best place, but at the same time it is better than having nothing in this video. Apart from that, the only other thing I can really tell you is most of these carriages, like this one here, all have ladders just on the back. If you don't have if you haven't got the chance to jump on them from, say, like there to there, then you can pretty much run over all of these carriages and make your way across the whole map just on the carriages. And the last one I want to mention is if you head onto this middle one here, you can actually hit quite a nice jump slash dolphin dive over to there. And it can work quite well. It's quite nice sometimes. It just seems to hit it really well. But it's one of them things, maybe you'll use it to escape quickly sometime, or maybe you never will. But that is all there is on Derelict, unfortunately. So next up we have Lowtown. Now Lowtown, to be honest, it's not a good map. This map runs pretty terribly in game, along with a couple other maps in this. I actually think the majority play quite well, and there's a couple really good ones, but this map just really isn't good to me. And there's a couple others that I'll probably mention aren't great as well. Although there are a couple of swimming spots and a little capture spot I'm going to show you, which is kind of involves swimming. there is not much else. So literally, if you play on this map, you can pretty much swim around the whole thing, and you can swim under here. It's like canals all the way around. And if you get to this point, you can go either into this mid room here. We'll go up this to show you where it is. You go into this mid room, and if you go back down, you can go right to the end. We'll just go along, and you come out the other end, kind of where CDOM is. Then if you go back again and turn this way, you can then swim to mid. Now this is actually probably the coolest part of this whole kind of map that I'm showing you, is that if you crawl near to the top, right, like one step from the top, you actually capture this, and I don't think anyone could see you from here either. So it's a pretty good capture spot for B-Dom, I will say that. And the last one for Lowtown, you can use this rope here to get into this window. Most people probably already know that. And also you can go underneath here, and you can kind of get a really good angle just on B. So like this is probably one of the better places to attack B or defend B from, because you get like a nice little head glitch, and honestly there's not much cover in the whole of this mid area, and it is a bit of a mess. And honestly, did you even know this room's here? Like, have you ever used this room or seen anyone in this room? Because no one uses this room. And honestly, Lowtown is not the best map, and yeah, I didn't want to spend too long on this one, to be honest. So next up, we're on Payback, and as you can look at this sea. I just looked at this sea for the first time, and it actually looks pretty damn cool. But yeah, we're on Payback right now, and there's a few on this map, and this is one of the better maps on the game in my opinion. In the comments, if you've got to this far, let me know the best map in your opinion on this game. Don't say Nuketown either, I want a new map. So first of all, I'm going to go over a quick head glitch. A head glitch is something where you can hardly see someone's head, and they can pretty much see all of your body all the time. And you can see this spot right here on B is actually perfect. My second account's there. They can see all of my body, and honestly, if you're capping B from that side, it is the best spot to cap it from. It is so good, you can defend the whole area here. So I'd recommend using that. I might make a separate video for head glitch spots, so if you want to stick around and watch that, make sure you subscribe. But again, there's some more Payback jumps and spots rather than head glitches. So first of all, they have this big kind of garage here, and a lot of people don't know that you can actually just hop onto this little balcony. Now, oh, I can't even do it myself. So you can hop onto this balcony, and there's actually a spot here. Like, not a lot of people know this, and you can also crawl in the whole like kind of loft space attic here, and just like look out both of these. I don't think a lot of people know that because I've not seen many people use it. The next one, this is kind of pointless, but there is a spawn on free-for-all around the other side of this house, and if you just jump out of here, you can run around the back and hop over here, which is, it's okay. It's not the most useful thing in the world, but I'm sure at some point that might be useful. Okay, so next we can go over these windows. Now, obviously you can go onto this roof here and hop into all these windows, but I think the best spot is just jumping from here and landing in this window here. So if you just do that, you can mantle up and you are good. Obviously these ones are quite easy to do because you don't really got to do a lot, but I think this jump one here, it just catches people off guard a little bit more, and you just get a bit more like time to react and kill people. If you ever find a bed on Black Ops 6, make sure you lie in it. Look how cool this looks. So the final one on Payback, which is probably the best of the bunch, is this one here. This is a lovely out-of-bounds spot. I'm not sure how useful it'll be, but I think at some point you could use this, and it's not like it's hard. So if you run and you just jump off the side of here, you land down here, and you can just hop over this fence, and you have quite a nice flank there. Like, you instead of running down here, and you can just run there, no chance of getting shot anywhere. And this here is better than that stair by a long, long way. And you know I mentioned that head glitch video I might make, another sneak peek of that head glitch video. Look at this. If you hop on this, you can just head glitch this perfectly. I don't think a lot of people even know that you can stand on this, but it is a very, very nice head glitch and a very high traffic area as well. So next up we have Protocol. Now Protocol is one of the maps that I'm not too keen on this game, I will be honest, but it's not the worst one. So I'm on Search and Destroy here to show you a bit of a spot. So this is the A bomb site. If you actually go here, you can, if you look up, you can see these like little grates like this here, and if you go over here, there's one here as well. So you can actually defend the B bomb site really, really well from above. Now, it's not like the best place, but you can kind of defend it without actually having to be down there. So as you can see, you can shoot straight down through the grates there, and there's a mirror on the other side. You can just look straight down, and the bomb is literally just down here. So if someone does stand in the wrong place, you could kill someone really, really well and actually get a free kill for that. So the final one on Protocol I want to show you is there's actually a way that you can dive off here. You can land about here, and you can sprint around and land in the same area. I will just show you this one though, because I think it's better. You can actually play on this rock. Now I don't know why you can play on this rock. It's one of those really weird. They feel like they shouldn't be able to play on this rock, but you can actually play all the way down here. I've not seen anyone in game down here yet, but yeah, as soon as you jump off, you're out of bounds, so it's quite an interesting spot. But if you jump onto this rock and then you jump down this way, you actually land here and you can just run around to this area. Now this is like a weird, it's just, you can actually play here because there's a ladder that goes up, but it is such a weird niche kind of spot that you'll probably never use. Next one we're going to go over is Red Card, and honestly, this map is probably the worst one in the game. Honestly, I wish it was better because I love the aesthetic of it. Like, it's a football stadium, it's called Red Card, it's kind of cool. Football fan myself, I thought this map would be really, really good, and it just doesn't play well. It reminds me a little bit of Stadium from like one of the older Black Ops games, but it just doesn't play the same. It honestly just plays really, really horribly, and I've not had one good game that I thought, oh, that was enjoyable. Like, I've had good games on it, kind of like KD wise, but like, it just doesn't seem to flow like a normal map. I'm not sure if it's just me. The only reason I want to put it in this video is because there is an elevator here that you can use, and there's not really many things that you can like press a button and it opens kind of thing. So I thought I'd mention in there. You can use an elevator and you do go up, and you come out just on the balcony at the top. It is pretty cool that there's a working elevator in a COD game and it's online, but that is really clutching at straws, and honestly I didn't even want to put this map in there, but it is in there now. And there's no way that anyone likes this map, right? Now, on to Rewind, another map that I honestly don't enjoy that much, but it's not as bad as some of the other ones. And once again, this is a map that doesn't have a lot to say about. There's this one roof spot here. If you head to this little car, you can actually just hop on this roof. And you can kind of sit in this corner, but it's not the best spot because like you can crouch here. You can go prone, it's pretty good, but like as soon as you crouch, you're very, very open to a lot. But for sniping or something, it is pretty good. And honestly, there's not much else rather than that on this whole map. So next up we have Scud. Now Scud's a map that I actually quite enjoy, but there's once again not a lot to go off here, but I'll show you a couple. There's a couple good ones. First of all, I want to start off at these little sandbags here where this cover is, and it's no spot or anything, but they're kind of messed up. Like the hitbox is kind of messed up on them. You see here, if you shoot like quite close to them, it's actually better cover than it should be. So like that should be hitting shots there, and it doesn't. And it's kind of the same from every angle. Like you can kind of shoot like there, that should be hitting easily, and it doesn't. But obviously you can shoot if you go higher, but like, yeah, if you go kind of a bit lower, then it just doesn't hit. Is this, so right here there's a hole, and if you play on here, you can kind of get a crouch and look, oh, I'm stuck. Yeah, you can kind of look on the little like head glitch here. Some people play this, and it actually works the other way around as well, so you can hop on here. And if you and you get a better view just inside. A lot of people play this and camp it, and a lot of people just like stay around here. And it's probably better to play from this side because you can kind of hold this and this, and obviously you're a bit open here. But it is a good spot. So the rest of the stuff I want to mention quick is just all this underground stuff. And I know most people will know exactly about all of this stuff, but just so you know, you can play underground here, you can hop up, you can go along here, and you can play C, and you can also hop up just into C. It's a nice little flank, to be honest. And the last one that I mention on this map is, do you know that you can just hop on this? It's nothing crazy. I know most people probably know this, but you can just hop up on there and run all the way along. It is a really good way. No one really checks it. Like, okay, you don't really see many people like here looking this way. If you're up here, you're normally looking that way. So it's a good flank if you want to get around the back of some people that are just sat here sniping, for example. But if one person didn't know about that in this video, then it's a good video, right? It's helped someone out. And the final thing I want to mention on this map is, you know, like you get a lot of people stood in this kind of area here of a sniper. They actually made this so you couldn't make this jump, and it kind of gets to me, right? You should be able to run and jump off this kind of rock here and mantle into that, but you cannot do it. It just does not work. It kind of makes you slide, and there is no option to mantle. I have tried this about 20 times now, and it is the same every single time. They've made it because it's like it's slanted. It means that you can't mantle it pretty much, so they've made it so it's impossible to mantle. Honestly, I think they should make that so it's mantleable. I think it would speed this map up quite a lot, and I mean, I like the map. I'm not complaining about the map, to be honest, but I just think that would be a really good spot just to have. But they decided not to put it in, or maybe it's just because it's slanted and it's designed like that. But either way, I think it should be there. Look at the view you get on Skyline if you just lie down in this bed. Bloody lovely. Anyway, next up, Skyline. So we're going to start off with the obvious one here. There is a chest here that you can press open on. Also, I just noticed something, right? This here, this logo, is the same logo and the hat as the leaked operator that we might have in Season 1, apparently. I'll put a picture of it on the screen here. I don't know why I just mentioned that. I don't know why I even... I don't know. That is way too much. I don't know. Ignore that. Anyway. If you open that, you press X on it, you can go underground the whole map. Now, if you just walk around to here, you go, there's a little rat running around. I've never seen a rat on here before. What the hell? Anyway, yeah, you can keep going way around, and you can go here, and then you can either just jump up there, or you can ascend right to the top here. And that brings us on to the next one. So over here, there's actually quite a few little spots in this area. So first of all, on this little balcony here, you can actually use this ledge quite well. You can just go around this way, and you can go back as well. It's quite handy for if you're holding the spawn here. It's one of them kind of little ones. It's not often the most handy, but it's pretty good. So if you come to this side of B and you go use this little staircase here, if you go about halfway down and then you like run and sprint, you can actually mantle straight into this window. It's quite a good little spot if someone you know is camping in here, or you're going to get a weird angle on them. And another angle you can get into this room that's really helpful. If you go onto this little, nope, I don't want to auto mantle over it. If you go onto this here and you hit the run and jump, and then you can land sideways here, you get to either shoot this way, or even better, if there's someone sat behind his desk and you can't really go in there because you know there's something on the floor, you can just shoot them through in the back. And honestly, you can go actually all the way in there as well. It is a really, really good way to flank round. It does take a little bit to get right, but it is really good. The next one's actually really handy for playing domination. That's kind of why I wanted to put on domination mode, because the B flag is right here. Now, first of all, the best way to capture this flag is genuinely by doing this. You can capture it underwater. Now, you can't even be seen underwater. If you've actually played this map, and if there's someone underwater in there, it is really, really difficult to see anyone. And it's actually the best place to cap anything. And yeah, it's 100% use that. But alternatively, you can, if you're running this way and you just want to hop over here, you can just hop over there, and you can do it backwards as well. And it's exactly the same over this way, but this one is a little bit more difficult. You have to be a bit more careful with it because it is a bit further. So if you just do that and that. But they're kind of useful. To be honest, if you spawned here and you ran like this side and people were on B, and you suddenly surprised them with the... And you suddenly surprised them with that, then you can definitely get some good surprises on people there. There's not much else to say about that one. So next up, over by Adom, there's actually a pretty good one here. I'm not sure, it's one of them ones, it's a good jump spot, but I'm not sure when you'd actually use it. But you can jump from this little ledge to this window. Yeah, it does take a little bit of getting right. You gotta get it like that. And it's not too bad, but it's one of them, I'm not sure when you'd have the time to run across there and land there. You're not really achieving much. You can't actually do this one backwards, but if you mirror it, you can hop over to these windows, alright. But once again, not the most useful thing in the world. So next up we have Subsonic, and honestly the coolest thing about this map is these opening doors, and the only thing I have to show you is this. They actually squish you. You can die to the doors. If you didn't know that, now you do. There's literally nothing else on this map to show off. There's a little head glitch here that I was going to mention, but it's not the greatest head glitch, and this might be in another video, you never know. But there's not much else to show you on Subsonic. Honestly, one of my favourite maps on the game. It is a really, really good map, I think. Really even both sides, and I love how the doors kind of interact with them. You can interact with the doors and they open and close. Really, really good map overall. Just not a lot of jumps and secrets and spots to show off. So next up, we're going to go over Vault. There's only a couple to go over on this. Honestly, there's quite a big map with a lot of buildings, so I thought there might be a few more. But there's actually not many to go over on here. But the ones I have got are pretty useful. So in the middle of the map here on the B area, this balcony gets used a lot. And a lot of people don't know that you can actually get up there from this side. If you mantle on top of these, which I will say is a bit fiddly sometimes, you kind of got to run and jump and then push forward as well. Then you run and jump up, you can actually mantle up. Now the bad thing about these is that you can destroy them. As you can see, I have shot these ones. I don't want to shoot them, but if you just shoot with one bullet, they literally destroy. So most of the game, a nade would just cause that to be not there, which is kind of a bad thing about this, but at the same time, it can be used quite usefully. This is probably one of the main ones I want to mention here, because this is actually really different. This diving board actually works as a diving board. So if you jump, you get a lot of air. As you can see, I'm going quite high. And what you can also do is string that with kind of run jumping, and you can actually land in this window. Now, it's a bit fiddly once again, it's not the easiest one to do, so it might take me a few tries, but if you get the run and the jump right, you can kind of, you see you get a bit more turn on it. So if you actually learn a bit and you like get it right just like that, you can fly straight into this window from there, which is actually a really good bit of movement for a game like Call of Duty. I'm really not sure how useful it would be to use it the other way around, but if you run and jump and go this way, you also get like a spring straight to the window. And just so you can see this from a different perspective, you can see I fly really far to get into that room, and then there's a second clip here of me just jumping into that back one, and both of them are pretty useful to be honest, but at the same time you're in the middle of nowhere, so you know, it depends. So next up we have Vorkuta. Now it's a snowy map, map, and I actually really enjoy this map. I think it plays quite well. It's obviously a medium one, but there's not many spots to go over. One of the first ones I do want to say is this was a good spot here, but it is more of a head glitch. This right here can be head glitch really, really well. If you walk up to it like this, and they can literally not see your head. You have to be careful because you can like slide down there really easily, but this is a spot here is absolutely amazing, especially if you have B and C and they're spawning A. They literally come out of this window or run along here constantly, or they drop down to this little spot here. And honestly, this head glitch is almost you're unkillable to a certain extent. As long as you can like kill people quicker than they can shoot you, you are good. It is a really, really good spot. The only other couple I have that are you should know about these already, to be honest. The first one is if you want to cap B, you can actually go inside this. Now, I know a lot of people should know this, but I feel like no one really does it. Everyone seems to just run up to the edge and do this, but if you can actually get into here and hide, you have cover all the way around you, and if you're on this side, you can hit a lovely dive straight in, which is quite satisfying. And the final one, once again, not one that maybe people might use it, but you should know about this. If you're in this little building area here and you just run out of this little bit, you can actually hop from this one to this one really, really easily. So you can get to this really easily. There's a spawn there, and it's just quite a good run you can do. You can do it backwards as well, obviously. But apart from that, there is not much to go over on this map. And the final one we're going to go over in this video, which kind of covers all of the core maps and some of the strike maps, which are the strike maps are the smaller ones like Gala, Pit, Warhead, and this one here, Stakeout. So Stakeout is actually probably one of the better maps of the strike maps, but this is the only one that pretty much has a few secret spots on it. Even a couple that you might not know about. So first of all, there's on every one of these little balconies, there's two on each, there's one on each side. So you can literally just do the same thing. You can hop straight onto there, and you can just hop over there. It's a good way to get around if you avoid like all the chaos. And I think you can directly actually make the jump as well if you really want to, so it doesn't take quite as long. I'm not sure if you can do it back. Yes, you can. So you can do it both ways if you really want to. You have got to be careful with the mantles, and obviously you can do it here as well. And you can probably make that whole jump just like that again. So you can do that on both sides, and this is like a very high traffic area, so it doesn't always work, but it is pretty good most of the time. It's a good way to get around the map. So you might have seen this one already, because I've seen a lot of plays been made using this one. So if you actually use these stairs, you can run up, go out of bounds, and get to the middle of this map. So if you've got to be quite quick about it, you've got to properly sprint and just jump down into these. You can just land down here, which is pretty cool. There's a nice, obviously it's meant to happen, because they've left the door open, I think, but it's quite a cool little rotation, and it's not the most useful one, because like if you're playing, you know how busy this area gets, and you don't really have a lot of time to kind of just go around here. And you can go both sides as well if you're quick enough. So now onto the one that I thought most people might not know. Now this isn't much of a spot, it's more of a grenade spot because you can't really shoot people through it, but for a grenade spot it's actually really good. There's a few of these on this map. So a lot of people might not notice that if you actually look around, you have these little vent areas, and a lot of them are open, so you can actually chuck nades like right into them, and then if you go around this side you can see that it comes straight out here. And that's not the only one on this map. So if I take you through all of them, if you start off this side, so over where like CDOM is, there's one right here. So you can chuck one straight through there, and it would land just here. So if you're inside that building and do this is a very high traffic area for B, chuck a grenade through there, you're good. You can chuck one straight through there, and it's not the most useful, to be honest, because it just goes through to a wardrobe. But if you get it really right, you might be able to get it land here. Obviously there's this one, which I just showed you. You keep going around here, you have this one here, and this one's actually quite useful for another reason, because you can actually hop on here and look through here. You can't shoot, no one's going to be this high, so like you won't be able to shoot anyone, but this goes straight through to the build, this one right here, this room, and you see that second one goes straight through into here. So it's kind of mirrored on the other side, it's exactly the same, but it's quite a useful grenade spot. As you can see, the grenades do go straight through it. You can also throw some equipment through there as well, if you get the throw right. Obviously it's not the easiest thing to do, but I don't know how that one landed, but I should land there. So that comes to the end of this video. Now there's like 40 or 50 different spots or tips in that video. So hopefully someone learned something and you enjoyed the video. I know it was quite a long one. It was actually much longer than I thought it would be, but we'll see how a long video does on this channel. It's around 24 minutes, but make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do what you feel like doing. Let me know if you learned anything and what spot that you liked the most in the video. And cheers guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate any likes or any good attention I get on this video, to be honest. Make sure you subscribe once again, and cheers for watching, and peace out for now.